Has you ever noticed that sometimes it feels like we're kind of living out the same stories?
Right.
Maybe not literally the same events happening over and over again, but just the same sort of vibes, same themes.
Yeah, that's a really interesting observation.
Well, today's deep dive is all about that feeling. And we're going to use this idea of a leitmotif to explore it.
Leitmotif.
Yeah.
Okay, so leitmotif, first of all, the word itself, it's a term we borrowed from music.
Right.
Think of it like a recurring musical phrase that signals something. Maybe it's a certain character, a particular idea, or even just like a specific emotion. But it's not just music, right? As you said, we see this in real life too.
Yeah. It's not always about like the themes that we consciously pick for our lives.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes those themes just find us.
Definitely.
And the article we're looking at today really brings this home. The author talks about always feeling like a loner growing up, happy to just hang out in books all day, do their own thing, lots of time alone.
Yeah.
Which, obviously that can be good, but it can also have downsides too.
Yeah.
What do you think? Ever feel like you get stuck in a pattern, even if it's not? Like 100% a bad thing?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, think about being introverted.
Okay.
Like, naturally, some people, they just prefer their own company, right? But then society comes along and says, no, you got to be super outgoing, you got to be sociable, you got to be like everyone else. And suddenly that introversion feels like, I don't know, like it's a problem to fix.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like these patterns, they can be influenced by so many things,
Yeah.
Our personalities, how we were raised, what everyone around us expects.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where the whole point of recognizing these leitmotifs comes in. Like that's step one. If you want to understand how they're affecting you, how to maybe change things, you got to be able to spot them first.
Oh, that's a really good point.
Right.
Yeah. And that actually leads perfectly into something I found so interesting in this article, the whole phoenix metaphor they use for transformation.
Ah, yes. Classic.
Right? Like, have you ever, I don't know about you, but have you ever just felt like you've hit rock bottom and then all of a sudden something changes, something clicks, and it's like you're able to completely reinvent yourself?
The phoenix rising from the ashes.
Yeah.
I love that image. It's so powerful, right? It's like this ultimate symbol of renewal. And it really speaks to this idea that even when it feels like we're trapped by our past, we actually have the power to change. Of course, like anything, easier said than done.
Oh, for sure. But you know what the author actually suggests? Faking it till you make it. Which, to be honest, sounds a little strange, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, how can pretending lead to real change?
That's a great question, and it's a common one. I think the key here is to remember it's not about being fake.
Okay.
Right? It's not about pretending to be someone you're not, but more about pushing yourself, stepping outside that comfort zone.
Okay, so being more intentional, I guess.
Exactly.
Like, instead of just letting that same old song play on repeat, we choose a new track.
Yeah.
Even if it feels a little awkward at first.
Yeah, it's kind of like, think of cognitive behavioral therapy, right? You're basically retraining your brain, rewiring those neural pathways by trying new things, thinking in new ways, even if it feels uncomfortable or unnatural at first.
So it's like we're taking those deep grooves in the record.
Yeah.
And we're, I don't know, are we smoothing them out? Or maybe even carving new ones?
Exactly. You got it. It's all about building self-efficacy, proving to yourself that you're capable of way more than you might currently think.
And it's possible. We can really take control, rewrite our own stories, even if it's hard. I mean, I love that message.
It is possible. It absolutely is. And it's such a powerful thing to realize. We're not just these pre-programmed robots at the mercy of our past or our circumstances.
Yeah.
We have agency.
This whole leitmotif thing, it's been really, it's been really eye-opening. What about you? It makes you think about what themes are playing out in your own life, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. It's like this invitation to look inward and ask yourself, what's my soundtrack, right? What are those recurring motifs in my life? And maybe, even more importantly, what's the story I want to tell going forward? If I could choose just one leitmotif to define my life, what would it be? Why?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's something to think about.
Definitely.
Thanks for listening, everybody. And if you want to, explore this idea of leitmotifs a little deeper, well, you know what to do. Keep the deep dive going.
Keep diving.